Welcome, everyone. So yeah, I'll just kind of give a brief overview of ANBU UK and our work. So firstly, our vision. We envision a future where Tamil people who have been impacted by childhood sexual abuse can find their voice. And our mission is to provide healing and empowerment through holistic support, resources, and advocacy on behalf of Tamil people who have been impacted by childhood sexual abuse. Kind of zooming in on the approach that we take as an organization. Firstly, it's important to note that we're survivor centered. So that means that we center survivors' voices and recognize that each person's healing journey looks different, and are responsive to this through exploring what holistic support can look like for individuals. Another component of our work is being culturally adaptive and sensitive, which means that our approach is also tailored and responsive to best meet the community's needs. This involves us having a deepened understanding of the Tamil diasporic experience, including culture, migration, and intergenerational dynamics, and ensuring a kind of sensitivity around these aspects, and as well as having kind of language specific resources to ensure accessibility as well. So kind of using those community dynamics to inform our work, which leads on to the next bit about being community led. So that means our work draws from the understanding that change driven from and by the community is more effective and longer lasting. We work with the community to empower individuals and collectives to break the stigma around abuse and to support with compassion. Another important aspect is the intersectional approach, so thinking about intersectionality within our work. And we do this by recognizing the ways that systemic discrimination and oppressive power structures work to marginalize different parts of our community in specific ways, which includes impacts to their access to support and resources. We are constantly striving to ensure that we apply inclusive practices to address that. And finally, being evidence driven. So that's in order to facilitate long-term transformation and visibility of these issues, as we've already kind of mentioned. And we seek to obtain a comprehensive understanding of the needs, barriers, and issues of survivors in the community. And yeah, today is a great milestone in that respect, as we will be launching our needs assessment, which, as mentioned, you'll be hearing about later today. So zooming into the kind of strands of our work, firstly, research, which is topical for today. As mentioned, our work is evidence-driven, and therefore research is a key element of responding to this, particularly due to the lack of existing data and information out there. We have a multidisciplinary advisory group, so which brings together different community organizations. As we've mentioned, a community-led approach is a key part of the work that we do. So we bring together organizations to consider how we can respond and support each other around issues that are emerging within the community. Outreach is a vital part of the work that we do in terms of engaging across generations and raising awareness, as well as capacity building for the community to recognize and respond to what's coming up in the community, and in order to create sustainable change. ANBU Safe Spaces is another element of the work that we do. This is part of our outreach work that we're engaged with. Yeah, we're engaged in particular with exploring what safe, confidential, and non-judgmental spaces can look like. More recently, our Open Dialogues project has been exploring, in particular, intergenerational safe spaces of conversation and what that can look like, in addition to our work exploring survivor-specific safe spaces as well. Another element of our work is training. So we also deliver trauma-informed training, including the use of train the trainer model to set in motion a multiplier effect. And finally, the ANBU Ambassadors Project. We have a wonderful network of university students that support our work, including members of the ambassador team who've joined us here today and are supporting with the symposium today. And they help raise awareness and signpost at universities across the country. Right, so to move on to the services that we provide. So firstly, the Transition and Wellbeing Project. This is a project which provides facilitated group spaces for survivors to explore holistic healing. And in the past, this has included group talking, yoga, and art therapy. We have family mentalization-based therapy, which we've been trialing, which is responding to the broad impacts of trauma, not just on the survivor, but also family members, and aiming to facilitate support and dialogue between family members to promote longer-term healing. And finally, we have the ISVA service, so Independent Sexual Violence Advisor Service, which provides advice and signposting for survivors to support them in navigating and accessing appropriate support. So to kind of look into the past work that we have been involved in, that includes sorry, let me just come back to this one. So yeah, as I've mentioned, the therapeutic groups, the therapeutic work that we do, the ANBU safe spaces that I've also previously mentioned, zooming into kind of community outreach. We've worked with kind of elders groups, as well as Tamil school settings across, previously in Walthamstow and East Town, we've done parent and adolescent workshops, as well as temple settings and sports days as well. We've previously held big events, including our Tamil Male in Contemporary Society event, Ain't Nothing But a She Thing event, and the LGBTQI plus and the Tamil community event. In the last couple of years, we've held these events, kind of breaking down, various kind of issues, conversations within the community around kind of masculinity, femininity, and LGBTQI plus issues. As well as this, workshops and trainings are a crucial part of the work that we've done. And this includes, within a university setting, having workshops on healthy relationships to bring in the conversation around CSA with that. And then championing research. Well, that's what we're here doing today. And this has been a long time coming, with kind of being postponed due to COVID. But we're really excited to be hosting this today. These are just some quotes from people who have engaged with us. So ANBU has been missing from my life for so long. I feel like I found a missing piece of the puzzle, one where I can talk about what my future could look like and move past the past. Thank you, ANBU. Another quote, it has impacted me emotionally, made me realize that support and help is there in this society which we are from. It has made me vulnerable and more open to my feelings and addressing such serious matters head on. So I'll just leave you with how you can get in touch with us. There's our email address there, ask@anbu.org.uk, Facebook, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And our website has a great load of resources on it as well, so do check that out. Thank you, and I'll pass back to Anija.